Good morning, everybody. My name is Jared O'Leary. I've been drumming since 1998, and I still got plenty of stuff to work on. Today, I'm going to be practicing advanced stick control with filler, which is a fancy variation of stick control that you can find on my website and on my home tab of YouTube. Now, in these practice streams, there's over 400 of them. You can find timestamps in the description sharing what I was practicing and trying to improve, or what I was talking about when I was answering some questions in the chat. Why do people ask me questions in the chat? Because I've been drumming since 1998. I've taught every grade kindergarten through doctoral student, so I have a range of performing and teaching experience. So people ask me a variety of questions related to getting better as a performer or as an educator. You can find over 100 videos and over 14 hours of those answers that I've given edited down into these videos in the Drumming Tips playlist. The first thing I talk about is whatever the title is, and then if it says "and other drumming tips," that means there's more in there. So if you don't like the title, there might be something in the timestamps in the description that is of more interest to you. Now, I'm going to be using play-alongs today, and all of the thousands, plural, of play-alongs can be found on my home tab at YouTube, where you can find all the chop stuff, gaming stuff because I'm a nerd. You can find over 1,000 grid variations. There's so many, you have to click the header to show all of them. Then independent stuff, almost 500 marching bass stuff, some drumline cadences, a few hundred technique exercises. This one you also have to click the header to show all of the playlists, like the one that I'm going to be working out of, the stick control variations. There's 15 videos inside of that one. Here's where there's 14 hours of drumming tips. Here's almost a dozen drumming lessons, and then over 400 live streams. If that interests you, you can check that out there. Now, because I'm practicing, I need to get motivated. So Shia LaBeouf here is going to help me get motivated. We're going to hide Shia because of copyright. Shia, help me out. I don't want to drum. Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. What's he grabbing? Just, what's he holding? Do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Yeah, Shia LaBeouf, I am tired of starting over. Thank you so much for the motivation. We're now ready to drum. Now, this is my website. My website has everything organized neater than I can on YouTube. So I highly recommend going here. It's linked here if you're in the vertical. Because there's thousands of exercises and resources and whatnot. This just like organizes it way better than I can on YouTube. But I'm going to warm up, and then I'm going to stretch and massage, and then I'm going to work on stick control variation, the advanced stick control with filler, and then we'll chop out, and we'll call it a day. So stay tuned for that. Let's see. I want to warm up with... I've been like really enjoying playing through the float drag variations. We're just going to go ahead and warm up with float drags with flam 5s. And that's not the resolution that I would like it to be at. 1080, please. Thank you. All right, let's turn up the volume. Jam, pump it up. All of the thousands of play-alongs in my channel's home tab has timestamps in the description that allows you to jump to a BPM. This one starts as slow as 40, and it goes as fast as 200. Every click in between. So since I'm warming up, we're just going to start off at a nice, comfortable 140. We'll get the blood flowing. So it starts with a check. Off the left. Drag, drag, float drag, 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 float drag, float drag, float drag, 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 flam tap, off the left. Let's go faster. We're just going to go a few reps of this just to get the blood flowing. We'll stretch and massage, and then we're going to slow stick control down. And really focus on that continuous motion. 160. I'll probably do this like 2 more times, and then we'll stretch and massage. Again, it doesn't take long to like get your hands warmed up and whatnot. We're just literally trying to get the blood like into the hands more. Woo! And the sticks, by the way, that I'm using are called Hardiman hammers. They are extra heavy versions of Hardimans, so they're like great for working on your endurance and speed. They're also just good to like warm up with because they're extra heavy, like 44% heavier than a normal pair of Hardimans. Let's stretch and massage. We got blood flowing in here. Need to retape my sticks. They're sticky. Beta. Okay, so first stretch I'm going to do stretches the sides of the forearms. It's a weird looking stretch, but it feels great. If you go to my home tab YouTube, go all the way down to the tips and lessons section under the drumming lessons playlist. There's a video called This Hand Routine Saved My Drumming, and it has better camera angles and like some explanations of what I'm doing and why I'm doing this. But now I'm going to stretch the underside of the forearm. It also has some bonus stretches if you do like rotary grips, like traditional or like Stevens grip. But this is going to stretch the underside of the forearm. I'm going to do it on the wall. The lower you go, the deeper the stretch. Oh, yeah. Feels great. Now I'm going to stretch the top side of the forearm. So the higher you go, the deeper the stretch. You could also do it like this, however you want to do it. But don't put all your weight into it because, you know, you don't want to rip stuff. That's bad. And now we're going to stretch. The last stretch will be finger to finger. So thumb to thumb just goes twice as fast. I highly recommend doing this every single day. At least once, if not twice a day. To help keep your hands nice and healthy. Trust me, I'm a doctor. Not that kind, though. But I did meet with, like, a hand specialist. People who have, like, doctorates in handing. To actually come up with this stretch and massage routine. So, highly recommend it. I've been drumming for almost 30 years. Not 13. Almost 30 years. And my hands are still healthy because I do stuff like this to keep things feeling good. And also, you know, focusing on technique and trying to stay relaxed when drumming. All those things are important if you want to drum when you're old. Okay, now I'm going to massage. So I'm just kind of working my way up and down the forearm. It's just to get everything nice and relaxed. You can massage on the muscles. You can massage around the muscles. But you want to loosen everything up. If you do traditional grip, your bicep might feel a little tight because of the rotary. The bicep moves up and down like this while you're playing. It's kind of funny looking. Not a muscle thing, it's more of a speed thing. It's not like a strength thing, I guess I should say. Instead of the word muscle. Constantly iterating, refining. Okay, now I'm going to massage the back side of the hand with the fingers, and the thumb's going to massage the palm. And then I've got one more quick massage to do for each one of the fingers, and then we are going to work on advanced stick control filler, which is my favorite version of stick control. But there's over a dozen more that are on my home tab. So if you don't like this one, that's fine. Maybe one of the triplet ones with filler would be exciting for you. Or one of the 16th note ones without filler. I don't know. I should make a 5/4 version. Why? For funsies. Alright, so now I'm going to massage base the tip of each one of the fingers. And do this at least 2 times for each one of your fingers. Every finger is going to feel different. Ooh, got a little pop there. Must have had a Rice Krispie inside of my knuckle. Oh, this finger's tight. Spend a little more time with it. See? Every day it'll be different. Some days it's the pinky, some days it's the thumb. Okay. Cool, we hit stuff. We went fast. Yay. We stretch and massage. Yay. Now I'm going to go back to my home tab on YouTube. There's over 2,000 play-alongs on my home tab. We scroll down. There's the chop stuff. There's over 1,000 grid variations. There's limb independence, marching bass, some drumline scores. And this is where I'm going to be, the technique stuff. But if you want like tips on like how to get better, there's over 14 hours in here. And by the way, any of the videos that say members first are all scheduled to release for free. So there's no paywall behind this content. I don't teach privately anymore. I don't sell an app. I don't sell books. I don't sell a course. I don't profit off of the like content that I make other than from AdSense. So if you just use these play-alongs, that helps me out. But the membership is 99 cents. So if you want that early access, it's 99 cents. Otherwise, you can just wait. It might take like a year and a half because there's like over 400 of them scheduled. I think like 450 or something like that. So it might be a while, but I promise they're all coming out for free. So not selling anything behind a paywall. Okay, now this version of advanced stick control with filler is interesting. So it's going from a duple feel into a triple feel. So if I were to put an agogic accent on it, so an accent where you kind of like feel the pulse more, so you have like 1, 2, 3, 4 on the first line, but on the second line you didn't have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the whole point of this is to get you to be able to just like constantly switch back and forth between a pattern that is in a common time feel, 4/4 feel, and then like a triplet feel. So you're taking the exact same sticking ideas, in this case, right, 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 left, but then you're doing a triplet version, which be right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, and you then fill that in. And then same thing for the next line. And then when we get to right here, this has got the 4s, right, 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 left, 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 right, 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 left, 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 and you fill it in. When you get to the second page, it continues the same idea. Okay. So switching back and forth between an ideal and 16th note, and then an ideal and like a triplet feel. Now the filler, it's the exact same thing that your hands are playing, but you're now filling it in. So let me show you this very first one. So the very first sticking pattern after the check. So measure 2. So right, 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 left, right, 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 left, right, 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 left. Cool. Okay, so the fill-in pattern is right, 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 left, right, 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 left, right, 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 left, right, 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 left. It's the exact same thing. You're just filling in some extra left hands in between all those rights right there. Okay, so that's all that's going on with this pattern here. For measure 2, it's the basic sticking version, and the measure 3 of each line, it's the exact same sticking. You're just filling in some extra notes. So right here on line 2, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left. Okay, so I started with this extra left hand low, and then I slowly raise it so you can hear the rhythm here. Okay, so same sticking going through this. Now, this play along, when you go into it, this one starts as low as 20 beats a minute, and it goes all the way up one click at a time to 160. I'm going to start off at 40, and I'm just going to go by 5s. So normally, if I was like learning exercise or really refining it, I would go by 1. So just let it just naturally go one click faster. But for today, I'm just doing this as a data collection, just to see like what happens with my technique as I go from slow to fast. And so if I go up by 5s, it kind of allows me to just like gradually improve without taking 7 years to get up to the speed I want. So I want to have this continuous motion that mimics how I would play this fast. Triple it, 4-0 it. Right, right, left, right, right, left, right. Fill it in. 1 E and 2 E and so now we're back in the duple feel with the different sticking. Triple it, triple it, triple it, triple it, pa-da-da. Now we're in the 4s. 3E and 4E and page 2. Triplet, 3-a-let, 4-a-let. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Triplet, triplet. This one feels a little weird with the doubles. Right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. And now this pattern is an inverted roll. So it starts with a single note. Right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. Triplet, 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 triplet. Yeah, the Invader, it's with the laminate on it, with this thing over it. Oh, it's just so crisp. I love it. It's great for being able to hear like the little articulation on like low interior notes, or like for 3 strokes, like I was practicing 2 days ago, like really being able to hear, was that 3rd note coming in time? Maybe. Am I crushing it? Maybe. You can hear it way better on these Invaders. Bad attack. Cut. Triplet, 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 triplet. Now, even though I'm saying like the feel for it, you don't want to hear the feel. It should all be just straight 16th notes as if you're playing it on one hand. So no accents or agogic accents like this. Don't overemphasize or like pa-da-da, pa-da-da. No, keep it all the same. Hey, Dion, I appreciate the kind words. Thank you so much. I'm glad to hear it helps. A lot more to come. Stay tuned. If you ever have questions about exercises or where to find stuff, because I know there's thousands of them, let me know. Just leave a comment, stop by a live stream, whatever you want to do. Triplet, 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 triplet. Two E and 3E and 4E and 'em. Now when I'm doing this, I'm focusing on a nice relaxed feel and fluid motion, and I'm trying to make it so that there's enough space in my hand for the stick to vibrate, so you can hear that sound as opposed to that sound where you're literally choking off all the sound, absorbing it in your hand. So I'm trying to get that nice relaxed vibration and that humming sound when I'm playing through it. Which videos? Videos are the very beginner ones again. To learn how to play marching snare and tenors from the beginning. Yeah. So if you go to on my home tab, so if you scroll down past all the exercises, I'd recommend spending time in the first two playlists. So the drumming lessons, these are like scripted lessons where it's like, here's how to hold traditional grip. Here's how to practice quietly, stuff like that. So these are very, as short as I could make it. And then the drumming tips playlist has over 14 hours of tips in here from when people have come in here and asked me questions on the live streams. I then edit them and put them into this drumming tips playlist. So this is all like off the cuff answers as opposed to the drumming lessons one where I actually like script it out. So in here is where you can find a bunch of beginner and advanced stuff. So like, what is touch when drumming? What does that mean? What about like how you will or will not feel successful as a musician? So there's a wide variety of stuff on here. Like, why does tenor drummers use French grip? But when it says and other drumming tips, that means there's like more things in there than just the first thing that I talk about on here. But for the absolute beginner on tenors, there's this one, number 67, Intro to Tenor Playing Zones. That one I highly recommend starting with. It will, the first part talks about like the windshield wiper technique that you use. So instead of moving around the drums like this, you actually move like windshield wipers where you will play on different parts of the drums depending on how you're doing it. And so that video unpacks that. But then it also talks about in the second half of the video, if I remember correctly, how to take any of the thousands of exercises on my home tab, like the one that I was just playing through, and make up splits for it. So you can come up with like 20 different splits with every single one of the thousands of exercises on there. So as just like a quick recap, number 67 for tenors is where I would start in the drumming tips. And then the drumming tips and the drumming lessons, all that is found on the home tab. You just scroll past all of the thousands of play-alongs and just focus on this playlist and then this playlist. Okay? So that should get you started. But if you have questions after like going through some of the drumming tip stuff, I know there's a lot with like 14 hours of like tips in here. But if you have questions, like feel free to ask them. I might just point to another drumming tips and be like, oh yeah, check out this video. Like I just did. Like drumming tips number 67. Anyways, good question, Dion, but I'm glad I can help. Okay, number 50. Whee! So we're going up by 5s. Normally I recommend going up by 1s, but again, this is just a data collection morning. Just trying to see, well, how do my hands feel? How do they change as the speeds change? So start at 40, go up to whatever tempo you can hang at. You're very welcome. Thank you for asking the question. Triple it, triple it, triple it, triple it. Woo! Flawless. Thank you for the like. gonna go up by 5. Again, go by 1 if you're practicing this and you're new to this. If you can play this faster, cool, still play it slow. I also can play this faster. I've been drumming for almost 30 years. I still practice slow. Why? It helps you refine your technique, helps you refine the precision of your timing, etc. It is super important. Thank you for the like. You want to get on tenors next season? Do you have any good resources for solos you can practice? First, answer the question, why do you need a solo? I'm curious. Is it part of the audition requirement, or do you just think that would set you apart? And I say this as somebody who has ran auditions for a lot of different groups. I'm just curious. And then that'll help refine like how I respond. But yeah, I got tons of stuff. Just for practice, you find learning rudimental solos helps you get better at reading music, technique, and playing? It is important to know like what motivates you. So that's great that you have that insight to be able to realize that this helps point me in the right direction. I will say that make sure that is not the biggest portion of your time spent when practicing. So there's a tendency with like a lot of students that I've worked with where they focus on, like, let's use food as an example. They will focus on like the dessert rather than focusing on like their veggies and their protein and their carbs, etc. So they'll focus on like the fun part, and they'll make that 80-90% of their meal, and then all of the stuff that they need to work on kind of goes to the wayside. So with that being said, there's oops, sorry, I opened it in a new window. You can't see the new window. So one of the websites that I highly recommend is to check out TapSpace. So this is by Murray Gussick and Jim Casella. If you go to the solos, multi-tenor, there's a wide variety of stuff that you can get from here. Like, if you just scroll down, there's a ton of different things that you could get that are solo related. There's also books like where is it? Yeah, Violent Tenor Cream, and then the Violent Ice Cream, I think, is the snare version of it. This has solos in it that you can check out. The end of Quad Logic. I've got the Violent Tenor Cream and Ice Cream behind my monitor, so I can't pull that up. But like Quad Logic by Bill Bachman has some solos in here. I highly recommend like learning some of the stuff towards the end. Like, I won't show you all of it because of copyright, but Beatlicious is a really cool one. But if you are new to soloing, that might be too hard. Julie Davila has a book called, what is it, The Modern Tenor Drummer or something like that. That one has a bunch of stuff in there. You have Quad Logic. Good. Yeah, so Julie Davila's book, let me actually find it real quick. I can't find it. I've got literally like over 100 method books in back there, and apparently they're out of order. Normally I have them like grouped into different chunks of stuff. So there are some other ones like TapSpace you can find, like a Vacant Lot. So these are like collections of some exercises, some like lot jams, things like that. This is the Violent Ice Cream or whatever. But yeah, so TapSpace has a ton of stuff. Roloff, Rowloff, they have some things as well. But yeah, make sure the majority of your time spent like practicing quads is spent on the technique stuff. So like what I mentioned for like somebody who wants to make like snare line, if we look at like the ratio between chops versus grid versus technique, what I recommend is like 50 to 60% of your time on technique, just the exercises in here. And then for grid, which is like refining a rudiment, that I recommend about 30 to 40% of your time. And then only 10 to 20% of most of your time on chop stuff. So same kind of ratio for tenors. So for the chop stuff, think of that as like the tenor solos. Spend maybe 10 to 20% of your time on that. Use that to motivate you and like help you to like want to learn stuff. But like I was mentioning to Dion, if you go to drumming tips playlist that's under here, there's over 14 hours of tips in here. But number, where was it? Number 70, where's the, I already forgot the number. Intro. 67. I was thinking 76. All right, so in number 67, the very first part of this, talking about playing zones, is like what Bill Bachman talks about in his book with like how you're supposed to move around the drums and whatnot. But the second half of it talks about how to come up with tenor splits for any of the exercises that are on here. So I highly recommend watching drumming tips number 67 and then focusing on applying those to like the technique stuff. So if you see in the tenor streams that I've done in the last like month or so, I'll like sit there with an exercise and just work on like moving the right hand for an exterior sweep and then moving the right hand for an interior sweep. Okay. And then I'm going to do like another one going this way, etc. So like it's a simple process that you can use to just like work on tenors with any of these exercises that are written on one drum. But hopefully that can help you out with that. But yeah, a tap space will have a bunch, roll off will have a bunch, and Julie Davila's book, Davila. I think it's like Modern Tenor Drummer or something. That I don't remember who it was through as the publisher. It might be through a roll off or somebody else. But those would be some good spots for you to check out. Can you play chops for solo? Sure. You can play whatever you want. You do you. Okay, so we just played it at 60. Cool. We're just going to go a little faster. We'll go up to 65. You don't need my permission to play whatever kind of solo you want. Go for it. There's another one that I'm thinking about. Nick Worth, W-E-R-T-H. I don't have the book, but I've heard it's good. That's another one that might have some solos. Screwed up. But yeah, I haven't used it yet, but I've seen a lot of people recommend it, so I'm assuming it's good. A little too relaxed. Now the last part here. So like normally a lot of stick control variations for drumline will end with like the roll and then you stop. So on all the variations that I taught to the drumlines that I work with, it ended with an inverted roll. And the inverted rolls start with that single right hand and then just go into a roll. And it makes it so that the second note of the diddle lines up with the subdivision. So in this case, the eighth notes. So right, left, left, right, left, left, right, etc. So that lines up with eighth note, and it makes it so you can actually feel the timing of the second note, and that'll prevent the second note from coming early. So inverted rolls and inverted diddles helps focus on that, so you don't have rolls that sound like very exaggerated version of it, or something like that, but you can feel the placement of that second note, so you can play it perfectly in time. What speed was that? 65? Yeah. Let's go to 70. Ghost notes. Yep. You can even do ghost accents. what are ghost notes? So ghost note. So in like marching band and rudimental, you'll have accents, so a loud note, and taps, so for a soft note, etc. In drum kit, you can go even lower than that and play these really low taps like this, like at a grace note height, and those are called ghost notes. So they're like little interior, like filler notes that you're putting in while you're playing like a melody moving around on the drums. And the ghost notes are those little ones right there, as opposed to like a tap height if you're doing rudimental. Okay, so you can see the stick moving, but it doesn't make a lot of sound. But if you do a ghost accent in a rudimental context, that's where you stop the stick right before you hit the drum. So you play a grace note, this note, low, but you stop the accent from hitting. And so you can do it with flam drags. And those are ghost flam drags. Fun, right? Cool, 75. I need water, actually. Parched. Tasty. Yeah, you play very soft. A little late with that. Mm-hmm. 80. Here we go. Whoop. I'm going to play a lower volume. Sometimes it's good to practice low, so you can have control at the low notes, like tap height. Like a snare roll? Yes, so there's a lot of ways that you can do snare rolls. You can do snare rolls with single strokes. You can do snare rolls with double strokes. So you can do it 3 strokes, 4s, or multi-bounce, which would be like even more than that. Depends on the size of the head that you're playing on. Depends on how fast you're playing. Depends on the dynamic you're playing. Blah, 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 blah. There's many different ways that you can do a roll. And, yeah, also depends on what kind of, like, mallet or stick you're using. It's a fun challenge to figure out which one do I use to make this one sound good. At least in concert percussion. Huh. Timing. What to do if they ask you to do a solo? Rudimental or drum kit? Because rudimental, you could play like any of this stuff under the chop exercises on my home tab. But for drum kit, I mean, it'd be kind of weird if they ask you to do that. Maybe they would, I don't know. Mm-hmm. 9 to 5. And boop. Entertaining myself. Huh. Not a good rep. Yeah, not a good rep. So I was experimenting with just like micro changes in the technique, but it like made my left hand come in late here. Like, slowed down, etc., and then some timing issues on it. So interesting. But again, today we're just collecting some data, trying to see how my hands feel as we just slowly get faster and faster. Every 5 clicks, we'll see what continues to change. Stay tuned. We'll find out. 100. Whoa! Mm-hmm. 105. Whoop. How to win a drum battle. Practice. I'll see where my hands completely break apart this morning, but my guess is like 120 will be like right on that edge. I say now it's going to happen at 110. Stay tuned. We'll find out. Mm-hmm. 115. And again, if this is too fast for you, that's okay. You can slow it down. If this is too slow for you, that's okay. You can speed it up. You can go up to 160 or as slow as 20 using the timestamps. If I were to win a drum battle, what skills would I use? I'd just play 8 on hand, and then the judges would be like, whoa! And then I'd be like, yeah, I work out. Woo! In all seriousness, though, like, just go with whatever, like, you're comfortable with. Any kind of competition is trying to show off what your strengths are while trying to minimize exposing whatever your weaknesses are. So if you're good at playing singles, then do some fast single stuff. If you're good at playing flam tracks, play some flam tracks. Whatever it is that you're good at. So whatever it is that I would do would be different from you or anybody else. So just focus on your strengths and sweep everything else under the rug. Let's try it at 130. Will it crash and burn? Probably. That's okay. We'll have fun in the process. We'll make friends along the way. Again, too fast? Cool. You can start it at 20. You could even play this one with your feet if you want to get extra fancy and play the drum kit. And there's over 2,000 more exercises like this that start slow and get fast. Just go to the home tab up here. Chop stuff. I'm going to be working on more for the chop section, so that'll be coming out. No, my name is Jared, silly. It's not how you spell my name. Well, hello. How you doing on Instagram? We've got over 1,000 grid variations right here. You got to click to show all the playlists. I'd focus on Rudiment on one, but there's wacky stuff in there if, you want to challenge yourself. Limb Independence. I'm going to practice that tomorrow. We practiced that yesterday as well. Marching bass. There's almost 500 exercises in here to help with that. There's a bunch of drumline cadences. There's almost 400 technique exercises. To find the playlist that I was just working on for stick control, you got to click to show, and then you scroll down to the stick control variations right here. And there's over a dozen stick control variations in there and almost 400 technique exercises. As I was mentioning to Dion and some others earlier in the stream, right here under the tips and lessons, there's 14 hours of drumming tips in here. Then there's some scripted lessons And then there's over 400 live streams. So I'd recommend going into here if you want some of the questions that I've answered on the different live streams. That's in the drumming tips. That's why there's over 14 hours of these, because we've got a lot of great questions in here on a variety of topics. And then the scripted lessons like how to hold traditional grip, or how to stretch a massage, or how to do a backflip while playing a flam drag. Stay tuned for that one. Just kidding. Anyways, if you like this content, just share it with somebody else. And yeah, if you see a video that says members first, let me see if I can find one. Let's see. I think under the chop stuff, there's some member first stuff. Yeah. Okay, so the ones that say members first, they're all scheduled to release for free. So stay tuned for those. It's 99 cents if you want to get that early access to the 400 plus videos and whatnot, but you don't need to sign up for it. So if you go to... Cell phone's ringing. If you go to the home, any one of the videos or the home tab, it'll have the join button, and then it shows you on there. That is 99 cents if you want to sign up for it for the early access, but I promise they're all coming out for free. So all you have to do is wait, and you can, use the thousands of exercises that are already there available for you, with more to come. So stay tuned for that. I appreciate y'all stopping in. If you enjoy these resources, just share it with somebody else. If you don't enjoy these resources, that's okay. But anyways, I hope you have a good day. I'm going to get ready for Shadow of the Tomb Raider. We're going to be doing that here in a few minutes, so stay tuned. Goodbye.